So you just blew out 40 candles, all the guests have left, you're picking up around there, throwing the dishes in the sink, you get to those tomorrow. Now you're laying in bed staring at the ceiling wondering, I'm 40 years old, I wonder if it's too late to follow my dreams and go into construction. I say absolutely not. I say go follow those dreams. It's a big world out there, and there's a lot of work that needs to get done. Working in construction, going into the trades is really fulfilling. It's challenging, makes you feel good about yourself, that you've accomplished something, you've got something done at the end of the day. You built something, you wired something up, you participated in a project, and you'll swing by there later on. Just go down memory lane for a minute, just stop by there and let that building talk to you. I've been there. That's coming from someone that's done that for 45 years. I build something and I want to go back and visit it. I want to go back, and who's ever riding with me, they get to hear all about it again, hear some of the stories about that project, or some of the people I met, some of the people I've worked with. Often you'll get out of high school or get out of college and go into a particular field, and maybe after a few years that field isn't quite what you thought it was. And yet, what are your options at this point? You've invested this much time in it. Do you keep going? Do you keep going down that path? Are you starting to get a little disenchanted with what you're doing? I don't think I've ever been disenchanted with being in construction. The reason being is that you're constantly on the move. You're constantly working all day. The days go by fast. When you finish that project, you're in a completely different location, often with all new people. You're working for a different client. You're doing different things. No one job is the same. Sometimes the weather's good, sometimes the weather's not so good. Sometimes you may be in a field that you're looking over your shoulder and you're starting to realize that automation is kind of catching up with what you do. You may work for a company that is sold out to an investment firm, and now you have new management that have never met you, that you've worked at that company for 15, 20 plus years, and these people don't know who you are. Now you're trying to prove yourself all over again to a new owner or a new manager. And now that new manager may be bringing in people of his own, and that just pushes you down a little farther. And what are your options at this point? The reason I stress construction and going into the trades so much is because you become the business. Once you get those skills established, once you put in 3 or 4 years and you get your journeyman's status, and now that can't ever be taken away from you. Now you become the business. You work for a company oftentimes, but you could work for yourself. Can you do that in your occupation? Can you go to your firm, go to your location, go to your warehouse, go to wherever you're working, and should they shut down, can you turn around and do that type of work anywhere? Well, that's why I say consider the trades. And if you're at that 40 plus level and you might be looking and really considering, hey, I need to do something with myself. My retirement isn't built up like it should be. I don't have as many skills as I thought I would at this stage of the game. And yes, you'd be surprised at the skills that you'll learn, and you'll feel so much better about yourself. And then when you're laying in bed staring at the ceiling, it's because you stuck a bunch of sparkly stars up there and decorated the room and everything, and you're just appreciating your work. So the next time you go to bed, you'll sleep a lot easier knowing that you're set. You know a trade, and your trade can go anywhere. You could go down the street, or you could go across town, you could go the other half of the world. I had a neighbor that worked at a big company that supplied paper and produced paper goods. After 26 years, they walked in one morning, said they sold the place, and everyone's fired. She came home after 26 years, didn't even get much of a chance to say goodbye to everyone. That was it. Her job was done. Fortunately, she was able to find new work, but right now, with the economy the way it is, and with companies closing right and left, this might be a good time to assess where you are right now and what occupation you're in and what the industry looks like. Because I know the latest talk is all this AI is going to take so many jobs, and I'm sure it's true. But I know one thing, my job, all the skills that I know, AI can't do that yet. And I don't see it happening for a long time. So why start now? At 40? Are you kidding me? I don't know anything. These guys are going to make fun of me. I'm going to walk on a project and everyone's going to know I'm the new guy. You go to the gym, you're a little bit intimidated. You're not exactly sure where to start. You start reading the labels on the machines, reading some of the directions. You know people are watching you. You're not sure if you should stay there, stick it out, or take off and go get a milkshake. But you stay with it. And the first few days are uncomfortable because, you know, everyone knows that they could tell you haven't done much of this before. But then after about a week, you get pretty comfortable. You walk in the next day and you know where to go. You know where to start. You have a little bit of a routine. You've done some research. You may have someone come over and point out a few things, help you out. But you're in there with all these people that have been doing this for a long time, and now you're starting to make a few friends. When you walk in, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. You mind if I step over here? You know, you start getting into it a little bit, and pretty soon, no one cares. They didn't care when you first walked in. They just knew you were new, didn't know who this person was, and we'll give you room, let you go. Great, good to see you here. That's the same way on the job site. You feel absolutely conspicuous. So let me tell you how it works. You show up that Monday morning, you got your new boots, you got your new pants on, you got your nice shirt on, you're ready to go to work. They hand you a hard hat, a new vest, some new safety glasses, maybe some gloves, give you the rundown of safety, get you oriented and everything, and then now we walk through the gate. Stand there in the morning meeting, little safety huddle, we'll talk about what we're doing today, and then they'll point to you and say, hey, go work with this person over here or that person over there, or come with me and I'll show you around, get you familiar with the project. And the first day you're working there, all eyes are on you. You know it. Everybody knows it. Who is this new guy and what does he know? And then they find out you've never done this before because your last job was behind a counter somewhere at a parts store, or maybe you were an accountant, or maybe you were working in food service or a warehouse somewhere, or maybe you were sitting in a cubicle with a computer and a computer screen in front of you for the last several years. The reason I say that is because all of the above have come to work for me. So they're going to show you around, give you a few pointers, some things to watch for, kind of give you an idea of what's going on the job site at the time. And you'll begin to work a little bit here and there. You already know how to do certain things. If you wash your car, or clean the gutters, mow the lawn, do that type of work, you already know how to work. You may not know how to do those specific things that are happening right now, but you will. So day 2, you just show up. You're no longer reading the instruction labels. You're just jumping in with the crew and you're helping to get the work done. And you're feeling a little bit more comfortable because they recognize you coming through the gate now. They know who you are. And so then what happens after about a week? You know where to go. You know where the tools are. You're already starting. You're getting things set up. And no one questions it anymore. Now they're just showing you, and everyone's real helpful. Wow, hey, a month's gone by. You're feeling pretty good. You're looking forward to going to work. So after about a year of what you're doing, you're actually getting pretty good. And then think about it. You get journeyman status, and now you could go anywhere. You're set. You don't ever have to worry about going to bed at night wondering if you're going to be able to make any money the next day. There's plenty of companies out there looking for you. And for someone that has some experience going to work, you'd be surprised. You'd think at over 40, no one would want to hire you. Actually, they would. Because the learning curve of showing up for work and doing your work and following instructions and not getting distracted by everything, you've already got that. You've already been through all of that. You've gotten all the distractions and everything out of your system so that now when you're there, you're able to take instruction. I've had a lot of people come to work for me just like that. They already know how to get out of bed. They already know how to show up early. They've got a great attitude. They're ready to work. They're ready to learn. I don't have to educate them on how to pack a lunch and how to get to the job and how to show up on time and how to show up 5 days a week and do a full day's work without complaining or excuses or anything like that. You've already got that figured out. So you're already miles ahead. All you have to do is now learn what needs to be done on that job right there. See how simple that is? You've got all of the foundation already there showing up for work on that project, and the rest of it is just learning specifics. Think about it. If you're 40 years old right now and you plan on retiring at 65, maybe 67, look how many years you still have left to build up a retirement, a pension, put money in a 401k, have plenty of money to live on and support your family, and have peace of mind knowing that you'll always be able to work. You'll always be able to earn money. And you're not having to look over your shoulder and find out that management's going to come in and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to part ways. Find out what's coming in your industry and consider going into the trades, even after 40. I could tell you about the computer programmer during the dot-com era when everything crashed and he showed up on my job, didn't know how to do anything. And within a few weeks' time, he was going with the rest of them. You wouldn't even know. He blended right in because he was responsible and already knew how to work and knew how to take directions. So right now is a good time to get into the trades. I'm up in the Pacific Northwest. A journeyman carpenter in this area makes $60 an hour, plus full benefits, medical, optical, dental, a pension, a 401k is offered, lots of other perks. But $60 an hour with all that stacked on top of it. Now, some areas they make less, and some areas they make more. It all depends on the cost of living in the area that you live. That's a pretty good deal, knowing that you have all these set skills now under your belt that can't be taken from you, that could go anywhere in the world. You could go down the street or across town or to the next continent and do what you do. So think about that. Hopefully that's a little motivating for you. So consider the trades. It has a lot to offer. You gain skills that can never be taken from you, and those skills will never go out of style. So look into it. Let me know. Ask me questions. Put things in the comments. Like and subscribe this video, and send it out to all the other people that you work with that might be considering this. Everyone's thinking it right now. The economy is getting kind of funny. The markets are going up and down. Job security isn't what it used to be. Industries are changing. Jobs are being shipped overseas. Jobs are being eliminated. Now may be the time to build some skills that'll stay with you and be lasting and be needed. There's always a demand for construction skills. There's always something that needs to be done. There's always another project to build. So like and subscribe. If you like this content, let me know. Send me comments, send me questions. Tell me what else you want to know about. Thanks for listening.